Mr. Wiedefeld, speak to both my sense, and maybe you can just expand on this, is that the increased favorability, trust, whatever it is that is the best way to describe how people view, how the riders view the system, that the gains you've made there are a combination of real improvements, and if you'd like to speak to some of those, I encourage you to emphasize that again. But also the candor with which you've pursued things. Because I think that just the way a dog can smell fear, a commuter can smell when they feel like they're not being leveled with, in terms of safety issues, in terms of how long something's going to take to get done, et cetera. And just the mere fact of trying to be transparent, calling it like it is, saying to people, well, if we're going to do X, it means we're going to have to suffer Y for a certain period of time, but X appears to be something you value, so we're going to go do that, and it's going to hurt. That just that, in and of itself, has helped to improve the image of WMATA. And I credit you with a lot of that because I've seen the work you've done in your wearing other hats in the past. But talk, if you would, to that in particular, that idea of being candid, being transparent, being as honest as you possibly can every single day with the challenges that are faced. Because we've found it refreshing in terms of the way you've come and presented. But I imagine that your riders are finding it refreshing as well. And it's a tough standard to stick with every single day. So you add a burden to your job description when you invite that, but I think it makes a huge difference.
Thank you, Congressman. One of the biggest things that we did as an agency, literally from the ground up, was that we put safety above service, and we believed it. And so what you've seen play out is that we make decisions based on that first. And to be frank, that's not historically what we were doing because of the pressures to put service out there, whether it's putting service out there that shouldn't be put out, whether it's putting out hours of service at the expense of maintenance and safety. And I think, unfortunately, we got to a point where we had lost the credibility in the community. And we had to focus on rebuilding that credibility by doing what we said we were going to do. It's painful. Ours is one example of that, the platform work where we had to shut down platforms. We're constantly communicating with our customers. We did focus groups when we started the Back to Good initiative. And we took some heat for calling it Back to Good versus Back to Great or something else. But literally they said to us, do not tell us that, because we know what this system was. We lived it for 20, 30 years where there were no issues, and we've seen it decline. So don't tell us that you're going to get back there, because we know you're not going to get there. Get us back to good. So that terminology literally came from our customers. So we want to keep that, it is something we have to constantly remind ourselves that the customers have a certain view, and that's what we should be focusing on. Not my view, not necessarily other pressures that we get, but what does the customer really want? They want it safe and they want it reliable, and that is what we continue to focus on.
Well, if I had a choice between a slogan that said, make WMATA great again, or make WMATA good again, I'd choose the latter. I yield back.